Howdy, this is Lemmy with RevZilla TV, here to talk to you today about Mustang's wide tripper seat for Harley. The wide tripper is something great for those of you who are looking for a seat that's sort of in the middle of the road. You don't want to be sitting right on your seat rails, however you also don't want some super plush, overgrown touring couch. This is going to sit firmly in the middle of sort of the range of saddles I think you can find. Application-wise, those of you who are riding around on touring bikes, you're going to have the greatest sort of mix of seats to check out. There's a couple weird models offered for Dyna and offered for Softail, but mostly you're going to see Mustang concentrating on bringing this seat to those of you guys on touring bikes. Installation, like just about every seat on the market, is a 1 out of 3 beards. It's not very difficult, and just about all of you should be able to get this onto your bike with no sweat at all. Let's get right into the nitty-gritty. Let's talk about the seat a little bit, then we'll kind of talk about some of the construction and features of it that really make this thing a standout in its category. So as I said earlier, this is a seat that's sort of middle of the road. Lots of folks on touring bikes like to have 2 saddles. They maybe want a solo and maybe something that's 2 up for when they're bringing a passenger with them, or some guys like to have something that really lays on the frame rails and keeps the profile of the bike low for cruising around town, but then on longer trips, maybe you'll wind up with something that's a little bit more comfortable. This seat's kind of a do-all. This sort of solves the problem of what 2 seats do you pick. You really can get by with just 1 seat on one of these. It's not going to be the absolute best for the long haul comfort. It's not going to be the absolute lowest profile seat out there, but it should handle deep into both of those territories pretty well and should keep you from having to have a second saddle laying around. Now, this saddle in front of me, you can see here, is a solo. This actually comes in both a 1-piece and a 2-piece version. So if you prefer a more traditional look and you want a 1-piece saddle on your bike all the time, it shouldn't be that big a deal because that is offered. But if you're the type of person who maybe doesn't want to have that extra little bit of room covered up by a saddle, maybe you want to show off some fender or you need a little bit of packing room, you can get that with the solo you see in front of me here. The coolest part I think about this saddle is the diamond stitch on here. It's offered on some of the seats and it's really a nice look. It's really a great stitching job, and it's stitched into marine grade vinyl. I love marine grade vinyl for a seat material. It's UV resistant, it's weather resistant. It just holds up to the rigors that a seat goes through over the course of its life, and it keeps the seat looking really nice. Now, flipping this thing over, you'll notice the pan is fiberglass. Fiberglass is one of my favorite pan materials. It's really stiff, it's rigid and unyielding. And while that doesn't sound particularly comfortable for a seat, it actually is, even though that sounds counterintuitive. Your stock seat is not really that comfortable. It's made of plastic. Heat and age really take its toll on the plastic, and it starts to flex and bend, and every time you sit into that saddle, your butt is sort of conforming a little bit to the bike underneath it, and that's not really that comfortable. Fiberglass doesn't leave you with that worry. It stays nice and rigid over the course of its life, and it always is able to support you. Looking at some of the other features on here, you'll see aluminum rivets holding the cover down. It's a great way to hold the cover down, keeps the cover super secure, and aluminum is not really prone to corrosion, so it winds up being a great material for the rivets to even be made of. The last part of this thing I really like, blood and guts wise, is the rubber bumpers you'll see here. The rubber bumpers serve 2 functions. Firstly, they keep your paint in good shape. Instead of allowing this fiberglass pan to kind of rip up your paint as you ride on it over the years, these sort of stand the seat off the fender and the frame a little bit, and it saves your paint some. The other benefit of that is because they're standing this off of the seat and this is rubber, there's actually a little bit of an isolation factor going on there. So it's going to keep the road vibrations and potholes and stuff really from completely and fully reaching your keister. It's going to keep you a little more comfortable. It's a nice little detail. It's one of the things that sets Mustang aside as really a premium manufacturer of saddles. In regards to installation, as I had mentioned earlier, this is a 1 out of 3 beards. It's not very difficult. For most bikes, you're looking at either 1 or 2 points of connection at the rear, and a simple tongue slides into the frame at the front of the seat. It's really a very simple installation. Depending on what model and year bike you have, you may have different points of attachment. You might have a Phillips head, you might see an Allen screw, you might see a Torx bolt up there. Regardless of what it is that you have, basic hand tools should see you through the process. Everybody should be able to get one of these on their bike in under 10 minutes without too much fuss. I think this is a great seat for those of you who really want to settle down and pick on 1 seat. My opinion, though, is not the only one that matters. Click below, check out what some other customers have had to say about this, or if you have one yourself, leave a review for another rider and let them know if this works out for you. If you have questions that we haven't covered in the video, give us a holler. 877-792-9455 will get you a Gear Geek live on the line, or you can always drop us an email too, cs@revzilla.com. I'm Lemmy, I'm out of here.